In the early chapters of Genesis, we encounter genealogies that chart the growth of humanity after creation. These lists are more than mere records. They are windows into the shaping of human history, reflections of divine order, and invitations to ponder the paths not taken, the lives not fully chronicled. As we read these ancient lines, we notice something curious. Certain branches of humanity fade from the narrative after their initial introduction. The descendants of Cain, for example, are named, yet their stories vanish into silence. Lesser-known sons of Noah are enumerated, yet Scripture offers no further account of their lives. What became of these individuals and their communities? How might their destinies, hidden from explicit record, illuminate the unfolding tapestry of God's plan? This is Bible Scope, your place to find light, find truth, and find purpose. If this journey speaks to your heart, like the video and subscribe to walk through Scripture with us. The narrative begins with Cain, the firstborn of Adam and Eve, whose life is marked by tragedy, exile, and the earliest example of human rebellion. Genesis recounts that after the death of Abel, Cain was condemned to wander, yet Cain knew his wife, and she bore Enoch. From Enoch comes Irad, Mehujael, Methuselah, and Lamech, each generation recorded with care, each name signaling lineage, identity, and continuity. Yet, after these names, the narrative grows sparse. Lamech, the first polygamist mentioned, offers a glimpse into cultural evolution. His offspring include Jabal, a tent dweller and herdsman, Jubal, a maker of instruments, Tubal-Cain, a forger of bronze and iron tools, and Naamah, whose story remains tantalizingly brief. Beyond these glimpses, the narrative quiets. The silence invites contemplation. These lost lines remind us that history, both sacred and human, is selective. Some voices echo fully, while others fade, yet their existence is acknowledged by God. As we trace the descendants of Noah's sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, a similar pattern emerges. Genesis provides detailed accounts immediately after the flood. The nations formed from their offspring are enumerated, geographical and cultural markers are established, and foundational genealogies are recorded. Yet again, not all lines remain in focus. Beyond Shem's line leading to Abraham, or Ham's progeny spreading into recognizable regions such as Egypt and Canaan, and Japheth's sons inhabiting distant lands, we notice names that vanish without narrative follow-through. These forgotten tribes are not necessarily unimportant. Rather, they reflect the scope of Scripture's storytelling choices, highlighting the intersections of divine purpose, human history, and the selective preservation of memory. Literally, the genealogies themselves are structured with care. Names are rarely arbitrary. They carry meaning, often descriptive or prophetic. Enoch means dedicated. Methuselah suggests man of the dart, or his death shall bring. And Noah implies rest or comfort. Such nomenclature provides a poetic scaffolding to the narrative, connecting character, destiny, and theological theme. These lost tribes, too, may hold symbolic significance. Their brief mention serves as a subtle reminder that God's knowledge and providence extend beyond what is chronicled. Human history is vast, layered, and sometimes hidden from our perception, yet within divine oversight, no lineage is overlooked. Exploring these genealogies historically reveals parallels with ancient Near Eastern records. The chronicling of lineages, the tracking of descendants, and the naming of patriarchs or notable figures were common practices, reflecting societal concern with inheritance, legitimacy, and cultural identity. Genesis, however, is distinct in its theological emphasis. These lists are not merely social records but theological markers, demonstrating God's sustaining hand over humanity's spread, diversity, and destiny. The silence surrounding certain lines emphasizes that not all human paths are recorded for posterity. Some are intentionally left for reflection, conjecture, or spiritual meditation. Spiritually, the lost tribes encourage humility. The anonymity of some descendants reminds us that significance in God's eyes is not always mirrored by narrative attention. Their fates may be unknown, yet their presence affirms that God's engagement with humanity is universal. The text silently teaches that every person, whether chronicled or hidden from historical record, participates in the sacred unfolding of creation, covenant, and history. These unnamed or lightly mentioned individuals are part of the story, woven into the fabric of humanity, reflecting the mystery of God's comprehensive care. In examining the descendants of Cain, some historical and cultural interpretations offer insight into the potential directions of these lost lines. Certain traditions suggest that Cainite communities spread into regions unknown to Israelite chroniclers, contributing to early innovations, social developments, and cultural diffusion. Others speculate that intermarriage and assimilation may have obscured their identity in later narrative memory. While these conjectures are not definitive, they enrich our engagement with Scripture, inviting imaginative reflection grounded in the text rather than speculative fantasy. The sons of Noah similarly raise questions about human dispersal and the formation of nations. As the Table of Nations in Genesis 10 outlines, each son's progeny occupies specific territories, forming the roots of ethnic and geographic groups known to ancient audiences. Yet the gaps in the record suggest that many communities existed beyond the narrative horizon. The absence of detail is not a failure of Scripture. Rather, it mirrors reality. History is complex, often partially remembered, and frequently mediated by selective preservation. In this way, Scripture models a balance between revelation and mystery, encouraging discernment, inquiry, and reflective engagement. These lost tribes also resonate spiritually with our personal lives. Just as some human histories are hidden or overlooked, we encounter parts of ourselves and others that remain unexplored or misunderstood. Reflection on the forgotten lineages of Genesis can inspire awareness of unseen potential, unrecorded acts of faith, and the silent ways God works in every life. They remind us that significance is not always visible. God sees what is hidden, and purpose can exist even where human attention is absent. The literary style of these genealogies, with their rhythmic repetition and pattern structure, emphasizes continuity and relationality. Names are connected in chains, each link a testament to lineage, divine providence, and human existence. As we read slowly, absorbing each name, each connection, we are invited into a meditative engagement with the text. The genealogical lists, though sometimes tedious on the surface, reveal a deep concern with identity, belonging, and continuity. Every individual, named or briefly mentioned, contributes to the unfolding story of creation, covenant, and culture. Engaging with these forgotten lineages encourages investigative curiosity. Scholars, theologians, and readers alike have long pondered their destinies, exploring historical records, apocryphal texts, and comparative mythology to shed light on their possible trajectories. These investigations mirror the spirit of biblical study, careful, reflective, and respectful of the sacred text, even as we consider connections beyond the immediate narrative. The lost tribes become a bridge between attentive reading and broader historical or cultural inquiry, illustrating how Scripture invites both depth of thought and spiritual reflection. Reflecting on these genealogies, one notices patterns that underscore divine intentionality. Selective narrative focus, highlighting certain lines while leaving others obscure, reveals God's providence and purpose. These lost tribes, while hidden from detailed record, are nonetheless acknowledged, demonstrating a theological principle. Every life has significance, whether in the foreground or the background of history. This principle encourages readers to value all human life, to recognize the hidden contributions of others, and to trust in God's comprehensive oversight. Furthermore, considering the untold destinies of these tribes prompts reflection on the larger narrative of human diversity and cultural evolution. Scripture acknowledges complexity, multiplicity, and dispersal, reminding us that humanity cannot be reduced to a single lineage or story. These forgotten lines symbolize the richness of creation, the diversity of human experience, and the ongoing unfolding of God's plan. In doing so, they offer hope and perspective. Even what seems lost, forgotten, or minor contributes to the tapestry of life under God's guidance. As we draw this exploration to a close, we are invited to consider our own lives in light of these hidden histories. What aspects of ourselves remain unexplored, unnoticed, or unrecorded? How might God be shaping our destinies in ways unseen? Much like the lost tribes of Genesis, reflection on these genealogies encourages patience, humility, and attentiveness, recognizing that meaning and purpose extend beyond what is immediately visible. As we've walked through this passage, what truth stood out to you? How might it shape the way you live today? If this exploration helped you grow, like the video and subscribe. Your journey through the pages is just beginning.